All right, here we go. Well, that was fun on your podcast, though.
Okay.
It was a lot of fun. I think I talked too much, probably. Yeah.
No, it's good. It was. Well, that's the best thing about being in the house is you can just sit there and listen. Active
have a blank stare.
Next question.
Right now?
No. I think you gave a lot of awesome content, and I see some really good clips coming from what you're saying.
Perfect. Welcome to the High Volume Podcast. This is Kenny Johnson, and I'm your host, Choquette, and we are here today to get back through it. And let's start with our first question in our 10-minute round. What is your one thing?
Chad, thanks for having me on the show. One thing, so this is going to be, I guess, a minute for each question. So I have done a really good job at buying good properties while getting into debt. So my one thing right now is I want to make $200K in a year to basically get off of certain debts that I've had for a while, some credit cards and some private money lenders. So I think the way I'm doing that is flipping properties. I think there's lots of ways to do that, but the way I have decided is going to be flipping 5 to 6 properties as the goal next 12 months.
Yeah.
So that's my number one thing right now.
Awesome. And as far as the timeline on all of these, you don't have to stick to a minute. We get through as many as we can in 10. If we don't get through all of them, we don't.
Okay. Very good, very good.
And if you have a Mount Everest, question number 2, what is it? If you know what that concept is.
Yes. Sort of like, is it like the BHAG, like big, hairy, audacious goal? Like this is like
your 5-year, I'm going to summit something.
I would say the Everest it's always been financial freedom and time freedom. I think those can be buzzwords that like, what does it actually mean? I think actually right now I have a time freedom that I'm enjoying like massively, and it makes me feel really good because I'm able to have 3 meals at home with my kids. If the kids are sick, I can basically just stay and work with them. Yeah. My wife's having a bad day, I can help take care of her. So I feel awesome in that way. Financial freedom is another whole other thing.
Yeah.
Bills need to be paid. So I think the Mount Everest for me is honestly to have that harmony of time freedom and financial freedom.
All right. I mean, that makes sense. I like it. What are you most proud of?
The easy answer for that is my family.
Yeah.
So I'm a father of 3. Moses is 9, Daphne is 4, and Sybil, our youngest, is 4 months old. And my wife, Anna, we've been married for 12 years now. And it is so rewarding for me to be able to basically show them off as like, this is what I have. Makes me feel like the richest man in the world. So when I struggle with, financial burdens, I basically it just takes me a minute spending time with my son or whoever to have that sort of like, get back at it, be proud, and obviously keep working hard. But I'm very proud of my family.
That's awesome. On the flip side, what is your deepest regret?
The deepest regret. So I think the quick answer is I wasted time in the earlier years. However, I wish I would have explored the unknown and been comfortable in the unknown faster. It took me probably 10 years to leave a job that I was at because I didn't know what else to do, and there was a lack of direction there. I can remember this. I had one guy, it was a financial advisor, and I was very proud in my like financial status, which was bad. I don't know why I was so proud of it, but I didn't want people to know, like how much I made. But at the same time, I felt like I was making a lot, and I had this like, I worked for a landscaping company, so I was very reserved in that. And I had one guy basically say, "Hey, you're giving up the prime years of your life in your 20s, building this vision for someone else." And I had disdain for this guy because I was like, he doesn't even know me, and what is he doesn't know where I'm going, how great this is going to be. But I wish I would have been way more receptive to people's opinions or influence or feedback on my life. I would have taken more risks earlier.
Yeah, that's a really good point to make there. I'm sure a lot of people resonate with that. What would you tell your middle school self?
Oh boy, I think
long ago for us.
Be nice to everybody.
Yeah.
I think I would have classified myself as the chameleon Christian growing up. I was very good at blending in with the groups I was around. So I was with the cool kids, I was cool. I was with the athletes, I was an athlete. I was with like the Bible group, I was like, a student leader, Bible preacher man. But I did it all for my gain. So I can remember, looking down or making fun of certain people. Again, middle school, you're young. But I think one thing that that's carried with me in a positive way, my life changed in college, giving my life to the Lord, getting baptized, not seeking men's praise, but doing stuff for the Lord. But I am very relational, and everyone matters. And if you view people as they are, eternal souls and image bearers of God, it's actually not that hard to care for people in that way, because it's like, wow, this matters. So I think it would be just be kind at an early age to everybody, and it will take you far in life.
Yeah, that's a really, really good point there. It's very, very valuable. What mindset have you changed in recent years?
So some buzzwords for me right now are building a team and leadership. Entrepreneurship, self-employed status, it can be very lonely. And there's sometimes a wealth of freedom, but there's also, hey, when you don't work, like maybe work doesn't get done. So I'm discovering that now, and I'm seeing like, hey, I had some successes doing some flips and some JVs that were good, but you had to kind of keep doing them. Now I'm seeing the importance of how can you build a team that like keeps working, not because more or less you're managing them and like kind of cracking the whip, but it's like a fun, hey, here's where the ship is going, like join me, and let's all win together. So that mindset of influencing others and building a team.
That's awesome. I love that. Yeah, I'd say I'm similar in that recently. When did you feel like giving up, and what did you do instead?
Giving up. Okay, so I think there is a huge, you have a choice every morning to give up. That's really how it is. Every morning, every single morning, you can choose to just like stay in bed or stop. So I don't think there's a like, man, life was just, pummeling me at every moment, and I just, gave up or almost gave up. I think it's really, for me personally, when I get out of bed, like start the battle. I know you've mentioned like sort of the breathing exercises and like the meditation mindset stuff, but for me it's working out. As soon as I wake up, there's a little bit of a routine of what I'm eating. I probably could harness the like mindset and breathing more, but getting to the gym and starting my day doing something hard with other believers and men that I've been working out with for a while has been a huge struggle and a huge reward in getting to the gym. So I'm doing it, I would say 5 days a week now. Nice. Before it was like, 3 was the goal. So like I'm gradually like kind of dying to self, but then when I leave, I'm like ready to go. So basically if I can get to the doors to the gym, I feel like there's success there, because I never want to do it ever.
When do we want to do that?
But I'm embracing it right now.
That's awesome. What's a small decision that you made that unexpectedly changed everything?
Okay, small decision. I've had this mantra for a while of progress over perfection, and the decision there is I'm okay with not arriving and always be growing. And I preach that in almost every group I'm in. It's like, hey, we're not trying to like get 100% here. We're just trying to get 1% better today. Or like we're a little closer to the goal. Time does matter, like there's a sense of like urgency and like, let's get this thing done. Like you can't just like, oh, well, I rolled out of bed and combed my hair. Like that's a win. Like there's things that you do have to push for, but I think the small decision is that's made a huge difference is just keep making progress. Like don't stop, keep going. And then there was one more I wanted to say, but I don't know if I can remember it because forgot it. So,
that works there. Who are you when the spotlight is off?
Yeah, that's so the correct answer is the same person when the spotlight's on. That's the correct answer in regards to just like, integrity.
Yeah.
I think I do enjoy downtime with my wife. So like when the kids are down at 8:39 and we just sort of collapse on the couch. Like there's always a part of me that's like, oh, I could be doing more work, or
You'd be
I'm gonna
productive
do
right
this.
now.
Yeah, like I'm gonna start this marketing thing that it's been on the to-do list for a while. But I really just enjoy letting my hair down and just hanging out with my wife and talking about our kids. It's probably what we do. What I enjoy doing a lot with her right now. Our kids are young, and there's so many things. They're at different stages, 9, 4, and 4 months.
Yep.
They're all at a different wavelength, but
Yep.
that's who I enjoy. That I really look forward to that time every day.
That is awesome. If you were sitting in my seat, what question would you ask?
Okay, so I would say, what's the most important thing that matters to you right now? So the answer to that for me is my relationship with my wife and kids. So there's such a foundation there that I feel like you can only build off of. But if that foundation is rocky, everything crumbles.
Yeah.
And I could even, before that is your relationship with God. So there's an assumption that you're growing, Christ is first in your life, and everything you do is really meant to serve and honor Him. After that, I feel like your inner circle, the closest circle you have, which I believe is your wife and kids, that's got to be on solid ground.
Yeah.
So I feel like you can only win after those are, and they're never going to be perfect, but if it's crumbling now, working, making more money, whatever it is that you feel like you need to be doing, I don't see that just coming together all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Us as dads and as leaders in the household, we have to lead, and that may mean just spending time or energy or money making sure your relationship is strong with those people.
Yeah. I love that. All right. Good job.
Whew, made it.
What got you today to where you are today? I say 5 things, 5 minutes, but sometimes it's less, sometimes it's more.
Yeah. I did a coaching session with a guy maybe a year ago about self-awareness. And I feel like it's one of those things that we kind of have an idea of who we are, but there's really value in understanding your specific way you are. And there's all these sorts of personality tests and everything. But one of the things I would say has been, I'm a very relational person, and I'm currently going through this struggle, but also good thing of, can I have grit and get things done? And can I be on teams where there's accountability and help? So one of the things that I feel like has gotten me to where I am today is that ability to connect and relate with people. So much that I could say I have struggled when I am by myself, things don't get done. And I don't do a good job. The inner strength, grit, Kenny is weak to a degree. But as soon as I bring someone into the equation, something happens where it's I don't want to let this person down, or I see that we could synergize together doing this thing. So I've embraced that in almost every circle that I'm in, health, working out, marriage, talking to other dads, being intentional in the church community, just trying to surround myself with people.
Yeah.
And being very vulnerable, or not trying to act like I have it all together, so that they know me and that I can feel hey, you know what, we're in this now, let's do this together. So I think that accountability and team element is key. I mentioned earlier the uncomfortability. I think that's something I started understanding at age 30. I'm 37 now.
Yeah.
But I've also heard choose your hard, right?
Oh, yeah.
So do you want to be, digging trenches all day? So landscaping, there's be these somewhat awful tasks you'd have to do, mulching 120 yards.
Yep. In blazing
Going
hot
up and
sun.
down hills, blazing hot sun, it's raining outside, whatever it is. So that's hard. It's also hard to manage a crew sometimes. It's also hard to maybe be an entrepreneur and, not know where your next paycheck's coming from.
Yeah.
So choosing your hard, I have learned it's okay to feel uncomfortable on the right things. And that could be starting a new venture. Risks, what if it fails? What if I waste time doing it? Example that just came to mind is when I first started doing real estate, I would drive for dollars. So I'd drive around looking at houses that, looked dilapidated. And so many times I thought to myself, I am wasting my life right now. Is this even going to pay off? And I like that feeling, because I feel like no risk, no reward. So if we're constantly like, hedging our bets and being like, well, I'll make sure this is going to follow through. And of course, like you could apply this to different things. If I'm going to invest $1 million, I want to make sure it's a good investment. But in regards to like kind of wanting to change your position, I do think there is a huge gain, value, success that we could have as people, stewards of what God's given us, to stretch and feel uncomfortable, to hopefully have a positive change in our life.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's 5 things or not, but
It sounds
I think
close
we're probably
enough.
close
Yeah,
by now.
that works. So what do you think are the next 5 things that will get you to where you're trying to go?
So definitely the team element, building a team around not even necessarily my business. Like, I guess my business is like my family. Like my family's like bank account. Like that's what I think of my business. But utilizing people's strengths and time to help me and my goals, but also them and their goals. I think that's something that I need to really lean into right now in this stage of my life. I've seen success doing stuff with myself, and I got a buddy I work out with, and we have this conversation all the time. So the idea of solopreneuring versus building a business, and they are different, I would say.
Absolutely.
You might have gains and pains in either camp that you may or may not want, but I think that team element, I'm ready to really show myself and enjoy the process and the journey of doing that. Because there's a book out there, "What got you here won't get you there."
Yeah.
And one of my biggest takeaways from that has been asking others for feedback about yourself. Because first off, we're changing all the time. The world is changing all the time. Real estate markets change. Strategies change. There are some tried and true principles, of course, that like we can rest in, but for the most part, we're in a very changing world. So in that way, we need to be adapting.
Yep.
And bills get you're adding a kid here soon. I've added a kid, recently. My wife, she's different. There's so many things that are changing that we need to be adapting and growing. And I feel like for me, solopreneuring is no longer an option. Like I can't keep doing that and be fulfilled and be a good leader in my household.
I mean, society talks about that. It's like you need a tribe, a community, like even for your kids or family or whatever. It's like in your business. Yeah,
Yes.
of course.
Yes.
Like, who runs a business by themselves?
Yes, it takes a village. Yeah, and it's. I think there's the introvert and extrovert, and maybe there's like, well, I'm just naturally wired this way. All that being said, I feel like our impact can only grow with others around us helping us.
Yep, I agree.
Let's see, time leverage. So it's really interesting. I don't know exactly the audience that you're cultivating here, but to me, I have 2 audiences that I feel like I talk with. One is like the person who's trying to change the position they're in, their day job or their just use of time, and trying to make more of themselves and of their lives. The other one is like they've already kind of achieved a lot in life. Maybe they're a little older, but they're trying to like refine and like, you know what, like I have this many like free time now. I kind of want to have like a little more, or I want to
Keep the knobs at this point.
Yeah. So I just feel like there is again, the message of being uncomfortable and trying, like no risk, no reward. I think that's a big one to ask yourself, like, where is it that I've kind of been like avoiding some things, and like, how can I actually go to that and make that happen? And then just understanding the importance of time. Yep. You've said it before, Chad, like it's the most precious resource we have. So when we can view like our days as like, this is an important day. Like I need to make today matter. There's a movie out there that I can't believe I'm even saying this, but About Time is what it's called. It's a rom-com. It's sort of like English or England, British sort of deal. But have you seen it?
About Time. I've seen. Is that the one with?
I don't even know the names, so don't say names.
What is it about?
So there's a lineage of men in this family that can control time. They go in the closet, they close their eyes, and like they can go back anywhere in time.
I've not seen this.
Okay. So it's kind of a hokey movie, and of course there's like romances and stuff in there that, probably not the best for younger audiences. But the message, the theme of the movie is, if you had the ability to go back in time and change whatever you wanted to, what would you do differently? And at the end of the movie, the guy basically says, make today count so you don't have to do that. Like, make today, like the next, 18 hours you're awake, like full so that you don't have to redo it and enjoy the moments that you have. Because as soon as you start trying to go back and change things, like something else went wrong, and you're constantly like, well, I guess I'll just kind of keep ho-humming in the present because I'll just have to go back and I can fix it. So his realization at the end of the movie was like, make today count.
Yeah.
So I think that's just a truth that we can always preach to ourselves. No matter if you're like struggling financially or you've arrived, it's like, make today count, make the people around you show up for them.
Yeah, I think that's a really great point to make, because there are, obviously some decisions you wish I knew something else about it, and yeah, sure, maybe you want to change that, but if you're showing up constantly as the person you want to be and making today count, like, you're inevitably going to make decisions that you'll be like, I am glad that I lived that day. So being intentional is a really important part of it. So at this point, it's whatever you feel is the most important thing that you want to talk about.
So I have a podcast called The Invested Fathers.
Oh, really? No.
And you were just on it about 30 minutes ago. I don't know if you realized that. So I have a big heart for dads and sort of the father relationship, which also I could say husband and wife as well, marriage, but I think there's probably a whole nother camp there. But, I'm a father of 3. One of my lightning bolt moments, pivotal moments in my life was when I turned 30. I looked back at my previous 10 years and I was like, what did I accomplish? And I had this big fear of basically repeating those 10 years. So that when I was 40, I was in like the same position. Yeah. And it scared me half to death. Because I was like, You
had a midlife crisis.
I had a midlife crisis at 30. We'll call it a midlife crisis. My son was 3 at the time. And we just had him. But the marriage was struggling. I wasn't really around. Even when I was around, I don't feel like I was really around. And I knew something had to change, but I couldn't figure out like how. I don't know. There was like this weird like, I need something to change, but I need someone to tell me like do this thing. Yeah. And from the Lord's providence, a buddy of mine was like, hey, I'm going to this real estate conference. It's a rich dad, poor dad thing. It's a Friday night, like all day Saturday. Or actually it started with just a free like 1 hour thing. And I went to that and it didn't seem like a huge investment. It wasn't like a huge amount of time, but it did springboard me into this other thing like a month later. And I felt like, you know what, like I already don't have time, but if this thing works, maybe it will change our path. And it did. And it kind of gave me that hope of like, hey, you can use real estate as a tool. And really looking back, it's just a business. It's like using other people's money to buy something. What's your leverage? Like, how can you help this person's need? And then also like, where's your strengths? So like, are you like a good, number cruncher guy, or are you maybe more better in front of a seller or with investors and kind of utilizing what Michael Hyatt would call the Thrive Zone? Ah, yeah. Have you read that one?
I've not. I know of the name, yeah.
Yeah, he was a planner, and the Thrive Zone is what you love doing and what you're really good at. So you want to basically try to fill as many hours in the day in that zone. So I started sort of figuring out what my Thrive Zone was, and 3 years later, I was full-time real estate entrepreneur, figuring life out. But I guess what I'm saying is, it allowed that transition over the 3 years allowed me to have margin in my life to focus on being a father, which I could have said like, I have no time for this. And here's a quote that I want everyone to remember. You have all the time in the world for what matters most to you. Mm-hmm. So whenever I hear the words, I don't have time for this, part of me kind of like twitches a little bit inside, because what that person is indirectly saying is, this doesn't matter to me. It's not the most important thing to me right
Everybody
now.
has the same amount of time. The person who builds rocket ships and sends us to foreign planets, and people who just dig ditches, like everybody has the same 24 hours.
Yes. And I got to pay these bills to do this thing. Like, people are in different situations, but at the same time, we're not victims of this world. We have the ability to choose, I would say, where we're going.
Yeah.
And that shift happened to me, I think, from 30 to 33, of like, okay, what is it that I'm like making excuses for, and what is it that I don't have time to do, and how can I get that thing done or make time for this thing? It's amazing how it happened, like, whoa, magic.
Put it on my calendar. Wow, how did I do that?
Right. And I still struggle with time management to some degree, time blocking. But I would say that's been putting time into being with my son, which in turn has helped, be with my wife as well. And now we have, so we have a boy, we have a girl, and then we have another girl. There's just no greater joy for me than investing into that. I think I was saying, I don't know where it came from, but I'm always talking to people about this investment opportunity. Oh, hey, here's this deal that you should be looking at. Hey, here's an offering. You could put in $50,000 or $100,000 into doing this. I have the best investment that no one else really has access to, and that's my kids.
Yes.
Like these are my investing opportunities I have.
Yeah.
And I can rather invest wisely with them, or I can make poor investments and not be there. So that's the topic near and dear to my heart.
That's awesome. I was at a conference recently, and Pace was there, and he was talking up on stage. I bring my kids to the conferences and stuff now, partly to test like traveling with them, but also, I want them to know what I do, because I don't want to be the dad who's either always away and like, oh, I built this business, I want you to have it, and they hate it because I'm never there, or they don't know anything about it. Not that I'm forcing my kids to like do anything and have a whole conversation about what your kids do and college and all this other stuff. But I was like, I want them to understand it and have the opportunity to like take it over, because I'm gonna die someday. Like somebody else has to take over or just sell it all off, and not doing it just for myself. But when I bring him to this, Pace was talking about how there's a lot of rhetoric out there. Some of the young people will come up to the mic and they're like, Alex Hormozy or this person or that person. And Alex Hormozy's done a lot of really awesome stuff. Very good at what he does. But Pace made a point to say, like, if you take all of your advice from him, though, remember, they don't want kids. They don't have kids, and they are working from a completely different worldview. And if you want to be a family person, like, be careful who you get all of your advice from. Take the good things that don't line up with that. Because the most valuable thing, like what your point was, is your kids. Like, they're, like, Pace is like, how much would you sell a child for? Like, how much would you pay to keep your kid? Right. Like, how valuable is that? And it's like, all of you are, anybody who has kids, trillionaires, every single one, because they're unlimitedly valuable to you and to the world. And so keep that in mind. It is the most important investment you can make. So, yeah.
Yes, sir. No, I totally agree. And Pace seems like a sharp guy.
Yeah. Well, he'll be here soon. So.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I'm excited to maybe be a part of that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's been really fun. I appreciate having you on here.
Thank you, Chuck.
Yeah. I think the computer's like, oh no, I've died.
No, what happened? It might have. Oh yeah,
the internet sometimes.
The sound is still good.
Oh, and the camera.
Every now and then the camera will overheat, and I'm glad that happened. But it's very
like right at the end, which is fine because on my camera over here, it's still working. Because typically I do like, so we had like a lead up. I'm a really lazy editor now, because I would normally be a perfectionist and be like, oh, I'm gonna edit this. And so I didn't usually make a lot of content, because I'm like, I want it to be just right. I want the sound, I want all the beats and everything to line up.
Yeah.
And then I'm just like, you know what? People aren't gonna notice that. Just like push the content out, as long as it's solid content, the core of it, like they'll forgive those things.
Yes.
So now I'm trying to do it in DaVinci, but it's really hard to like splice up. So I might just move back to iMovie, a very simple thing.
Yes.
So I'm just gonna cut it into 3 chunks. Take the whole clip, cut into 3 chunks. Before the intro card, after the intro card, main segment in the middle.
Yes.
So there's some like intro, like chit chat stuff, and even on the outro.
Yes.
It's like, try to make this happen. Otherwise it just sits in my folder and I'm like, I don't want to spend an hour editing that, 2 hours, who knows?
I went down the path of VAs, and I just swung, like, I'm kind of definitely swinging back now, where it's like, oh, like sort of the buy back your time, like bought into it, yes, like I don't want to spend an hour doing this, could be an hour doing this. Where I faltered was, so I have an hour now, digitally, is the hour that I now like bought, producing income that will continue to fuel sort of the back time. And it wasn't, like, it was like, these things aren't like panning out.
That hour you should have been shooting more podcasts.
I guess so.